Sorry guys, I'm trying to adjust this thing. I'm trying to catch this sunset. I don't know if you can see it or not. They were spraying the heck out of it yesterday morning. I got up and it was so clear, beautiful yesterday morning. And then I looked over to my left and there were 3 planes crisscrossing. And then a little while later, a few more planes and crisscrossed again. And it was like a tapestry in front of the sun. Yeah. And then today, it was clear again. And they started the same spraying. The sky was really crystal clear and blue again, and here it again is all hazy. But I don't know, it just looks really weird today. I don't know if you guys can see it. I can't really see it from myself here, but it's like the glare. See if I can angle it better. There we go. I can see it now. Can you guys see it? Now there, I see it now. And I just kind of want to watch. Angle it back there again. There it is. Yeah. I wanted to ask too, I know the last video I did, I said it was feeling kind of wonky. It's just this weird feeling. I can't really put my finger on it other than feeling off, unsettled, and oh, hi. Okay, I see you. Some folks are in here. Hi, Natalie. Hi, Carol. Carol says maybe they're spraying for the C virus. I don't know. They better spray the antidote. And it's so weird because I went to I think it's like a discount grocery store, and they had bags of, oatmeal, bulk type stuff. And I said, with all the hype about the C virus and all that, I said, maybe I better get me, because my family eats a lot of oatmeal. And it was pretty cheap for a big giant bag of oatmeal. It was like $20, $26, for I think like 25 pounds of oatmeal. So I said, oh, okay, I'll get it. I'll get it the next day because I didn't feel like lugging it that day. So I had to go back to the same store the very next day. The shelves were cleared. My oatmeal was gone. Yeah. Went to another store and I said, okay, I'm in the Ozarks. A lot of the stores here have sold out of hand sanitizer, toilet paper, wipes. Yeah. I'm like, what's going on here? And then to the last 3 days, solid, I have felt like I can't even describe how I've just feeling off. And this morning I was listening to, I forgot who it was, Forbidden Knowledge or something like that. And they said that the Schumann resonance has been really, really strange the last few days, spiking high and spiking low. Yeah. And it was so funny because I was just, this morning I was talking to my son because he's been feeling really weird too. I mean, really, really off the last few days and feeling just really, really angry and agitated and just not knowing why. And just as he was saying that, I remembered about what I just listened to, so I played it so he could listen to it. And his interest immediately peaked. He says, maybe that's what's wrong with me the last few days. And it's not just, mumbo jumbo and the quote new age people talking about the world, the earth's energy and all of that. I mean, scientists have proven and backed up that there is the such thing as a frequency of the earth. And again, I'm just listening to bits and pieces of a little bit of everything. And there's some type of energy that's coming from our solar system. It's just coming directed at our solar system, at us. But there's also some energy that's being emitted from Earth. And depending on who you talk to or you listen to, some people say that energy that's coming from our solar system is source waking up, waking us up, or finish waking us up. And then others say, well, the energy that's coming from the earth is that the earth is waking up. Kind of like what someone mentioned, that when mother wakes up, she's going to shake everything off of her. Something about the ascension, that's when the ascension is going to happen. Again, I've been listening to a lot of things and just exploring, and yeah. I'm looking at these chickens down here, guys. The you can see my chickens. Y'all see them over there in my garden? Back over in there? They're all playing in my raised beds. I'm just gonna lock them out. But that's okay. They're digging in my garden, and they're agitating the soil for me, eating the little beetles and larvae in there for me. Thank you, guys. But I'm gonna have to lock you guys out when I get my plants in there. Yeah. Anyway, I'm still watching the sun. I can still see it. It's still pretty high. What time is it? And again, it's that daylight savings time. So the sun is still pretty high in the sky. If you see where it is, let me find that tree. There's the tree, and it should be right in here. Right in there. I can't really see it. The angle of the camera, I can't really see it. I don't know if you guys can. I can kind of see it a little bit there. Now let me go in the chat and see if you guys. Let's see who's in here. Hi, Roz. Roz says, what is this chemtrail spraying about? What are they hiding, or are they defying the sunshine? This stuff's make no sense at all. All I see is cloudy days more than sunshine. I agree, Roz. And again, I listen to a lot of people. Some of the folks I listen to say that they're spraying aluminum and barium and some other kind of chemical, like metal particulates, and we're breathing it. It's in our water. It's in the soil. It's embedded in us. That's what some folks say. And it has something to do with 5G, because we have these particulates in our body. And when they turn up the volume, this thing that's going to make your internet real fast, it could do some things to us. I've heard some people mention that it's considered electronic warfare, to where they've already used this technology before to disperse groups of people or protesters. What they'll do is they'll ask folks to disperse, bring it up, y'all, and they won't listen. So they just roll up in one of these little machines, aim their little radar thing, with antenna, I don't know what you call it, aim it at the crowd and just turn up the volume. And before you know it, people are moving away because they described later on that they felt like their skin was on fire. Yeah. So I think there is something to that. But then, too, I listen to other folks who say that at one time they were doing the chemtrail stuff to bombard us with, the particulates, the metal particulates. But I'm hearing now that the good guys have taken over and they're spraying almost like the antidote for us to, I don't know, I don't know exactly what they call it because that's something new that I've listened to. Yeah. And I'm, I keep looking up because that's all I can look up, and I could look around me too. But what if we're looking up thinking that these whatever we're seeing, and Mr. MBB333, he's been showing some really, really fascinating um, video clips from all over the world. And was it yesterday or day before yesterday? It showed clearly a triangular, large, metallic craft. Yeah. And there's no denying it. I mean, it was there. And then yesterday, I think it was something like a floating horseshoe. It actually looked like a burnt spaghetti to me because it was kind of bent. It wasn't completely triangle. It was like those swimming pool noodles. That's what it looked like to me. And it kind of bent in half. So it wasn't a total pointed triangle, but it was like a noodle had been bent. And it was just kind of floating in the air. And I'm like, okay, is that a balloon? What is that? And actually, the Mr. MBB333 said he couldn't figure out what it is either. And he's been doing this for years. He couldn't figure out what it was. Okay, I don't see the sun at all anymore. But I know the sun hasn't set yet, or it shouldn't have set. But I don't see it at all. And it doesn't even look like clouds. It looks like a cover. Because I'm looking at the horizon over the trees. And I can see above the trees, a few of the hilltops here. But when you get up more into the sky looking up, it looks more just like a gray covering with some funny looking clouds. But anyway, where I was going with that, instead of, do I believe that there are beings in our solar system on different planets, different universes or whatever? Absolutely. Again, I think it's very naive for us to believe that we are the only intelligent beings and we are the intelligent beings. That even sounds weird, as messed up as some of the stuff we humans do. But I'm also beginning to believe in the interterrestrials. Everybody's looking up, but what if these beings that the Hopi and a lot of other different indigenous people have these long histories of these beings that live within the earth? I think there's something to that. And what if these reptilian beings are here and have always been here? What if we're the aliens? So much is going through my mind. Let me see what you guys are saying in here. If anybody's still here. Carol says Italy is talking about shutting the whole country down. Yeah, and I think all of this is by design, Carol. Um, some folks say they're doing this to crash the economy. All this stuff about the C virus was to deflect from the election or to try and get rid of who we have in office or make sure we get the other person in office. I mean, there is an agenda. I don't know what the agenda is, but there's something going on. Okay, Natalie says, I don't think the energy is source waking us up, as I believe we are all things or source. And I know, Natalie, you say that, and I kind of flip flop with that too, because I part of me believes, okay, if we are facets of source, all of us, as sons and daughters of source, kind of like, I know this sounds dumb, but kind of like the blob. I kind of think of the blob, and it sort of exploded, and all these particles went. But that kind of sounds like the Big Bang, don't it? Yeah. And I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But if we are facets of source, and if the whole thing about the Big Bang exploded, and that means that we are collectively all pieces of source, which makes us God. That makes sense to me. Because I try and reason, okay, again, why would an intelligent, the most intelligent creature, being, entity, whatever you want to call it, would allow all the suffering of mankind? And some folks I listen to kind of will say, well, this was a way for source or God to experience what it's like to be human, or what it's like to be a reptilian, or what it's like to be whatever. What is it like to be a chicken, a turkey, a squirrel, a tree, a blade of grass, an amoeba? But I reason again, if he is all knowing, or he, she, this entity is all knowing and powerful, and they would already know what it's like to be a human or a chicken or a tree or an amoeba. How about that? 7 and 7. 7 in the house and 7 thumbs up. I've been noticing the numbers too for the last 3 days. I've been seeing 333, 1111, 111, 222. Yeah. Let me go back in. I'm sorry guys, I'm just kind of off tonight. I just wanted to just sit here. Louise Gaffar. Hi, Louise. The Earth is sitting on a magnetic field. I believe that. Something's up. Carol says it's hard to differentiate who the good guys versus the bad. Absolutely. And I wonder again when you're saying that, Carol, again, I still think that there are slivers of truth in the Bible. And when you say, it brings to mind even the very elite may be fooled or deceived because it's so hard to, what's going on here? And there's so much stuff going on. And again, I think it's by design to keep us, you know, guessing and trying to figure out what's going on. Bra says, can you see hope for something better after this season passes? I do, Roz. I do. More and more, I'm realizing that we speak what we want to existence. In reality, we are deciding our own. We're deciding to be here. We're doing all of this. And I don't know if you guys watch Naughty Beaver or not. A lot of people, say he's crazy, and he even says he's crazy. He lives in his mother's basement. He gets a crazy check, and he says, "Yeah, I'm crazy as heck." But he says all of this stuff that I'm seeing and all this information that's coming, he says, I have never been a Bible person at all. You wouldn't catch me in a church. I don't want anything to do with it. But then he has all these almost like clues which has kind of caused me to pay attention to him. But anyway, I was going with that. He had a channeler. He watches this channeler, and this channeler supposedly was speaking to, I don't know, Palladians, or I don't know who he was speaking to, but some type of channeling type thing. And this channeler was saying that it seems as though humans are collectively, our consciousness is lifting and is becoming more and more in sync with each other. Not completely, but it's becoming apparent that the consciousness of all of us, or not all of us, but it's leaning more toward this coming Messiah, Savior, something is coming. Because collectively, I think it's because of what that has been the indoctrination, especially us in the United States, with the whole Bible thing, the coming Messiah, the Hamashiach, and, all of that. Jesus is coming back. Is either Jesus is coming back or it's Yeshua coming back, or But this channeler is saying that it's not so much a savior that people are evoking into coming, but it's called, it's the way Naughty Beaver brought it up. He says it's like the genius that's coming. Anyway, look at the video, Naughty Beaver, and I'll put it on the description too, so because I want you guys to take a look at it and tell me what you think. Y'all know I'm going all in the rabbit holes. I can't help it. I can't help it. I have to just look at everything. Look at everything and then watch. But Roz, I do see something better for us because I'm paying more attention to my thoughts and what comes out of my mouth. Start speaking what I want or what I desire into existence. And what I want for mankind, for all of us, is to be at peace with one another, for us to be at peace with the animals and the creatures on the earth, for everyone to get whatever they need in life. No sickness, no death, no sorrow, no pain, no death. The way it's supposed to be. And if it's here in this realm on this earth, if we can just all close our eyes and just have the same thought of peace and tranquility and all evil is gone, that's what I want for mankind. And that's what I'm pushing out. That's what I'm pushing out of my own little consciousness. Carol says, have I ever watched Robert Seifer on YouTube? No, but I'll check it out, Carol. Ross says, if we are part of God, why not hold the power of God? Exactly. So if we, again, I like that, Ross. If we are facets of source collectively, let's hold hands, hold brains, hold waves, whatever we want to call it, and do the damn thing. Let's see, Carol says, Ross, how do you know that how do you know that we don't? Hmm? We'll see, huh? Carol's make her true, but have you experienced using such power? No, but I'm gonna try. Sorry about that, guys. And actually, I cough, but don't. I hope everybody didn't duck thinking think I'm gonna spread the cooties on you. I've been in a house with a bunch of sick kids, but it's snotty noses and productive coughs. And I understand that folks who have that C virus, you get a dry cough, no fever at first, just like a little in your throat. And then a couple of weeks later, 2 or 3 weeks later, then you develop a deep bronchial uh, thing going on. But we don't have that. I'm grateful for that. And we're not going, no corona. I'm speaking it. We're not going to have that here. Not having it. Oh, let's see. Carol says, yes, Monica, I agree that there is truth in the Bible. The question is which parts are true? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I feel fully confident that whatever occurs, whatever is coming, I feel confident that I'm going to be able to figure it out. I know I'm just going to feel it. I know I know. I know. Malee says, I have experienced and seen many sufferings in my short 41 years of human life. My eyes have been very blind. I am just now waking up and have never felt so certain about anything before. It blows my mind. I'm so happy for you, Natalie, that you're at that point. Someday I might be at that point. Ross says, does anyone here know someone who was born again? Well, why do I say born again every time I say the word? It's because of how I grew up. Uh, yeah, the born again folks. A lot of people say that I was born again when I had that whole Jesus thing where, yeah, but no, I don't say that I'm born again. I'm just saying that I awoken to something. I still don't know what I've fully woken up to. I know that I don't see life the same way. Everything is different. Um, maybe that means born again. I don't know. Natalie says there are definitely slivers of truth in all things. Suffering, rumors of wars, and suffering will always be here. We have none of that. We have none of that as source. So we create a reality to experience it. Okay, so Natalie, you're saying that we created all this mess. We create the AIDS and the corona and the starving people and the brain tumors and 2-year-olds and children getting raped and sacrificed, and we wish all of this. And if we are sources, if we are facets of source and we're wishing all of this to occur, That's kind of messed up to me. I don't know. Carol says, Roz, I have had a number of experiences that should not have happened in normal circumstances. The only way that I can explain it, it was being connected to something that isn't seen or felt. Okay, that makes sense to me too. Natalie says, Roz, what do you mean specifically by born again? We are using that term, that in the terms of Christian belief of born again. Um, Roz, okay, she says to Natalie, yes, I was born and raised a JW, but never heard the phrase or passage of born again. Only recently did I come to know about this term. I've always heard that term, Roz, born again. I mean, I'm 62 years old, and going out in the field ministry in Houston, Texas, you know, where I was born and raised, um, we ran into a lot of born again folks that says you just need to read your Bible and you be born again. So I've heard that my whole life. And Ross says, I think born again may be your awakening and connecting with your creator source. That's what I think it is to me. Uh, to me, that's what born again means, an awakening. Now, born again to the Christian faith, of born again Christians, is when you walk that altar at the church and you give your life, your soul over to Christ Jesus, and you invite him into your heart, and you invite his Father in your heart as well. And when you give yourself or your light to Jesus and his Father, they will give you life and you will be born again in Christ. That's kind of what I've gleaned out of it now. But again, I reason, okay, the Anointed One told us that we had the spark of divinity within us. The kingdom of God is within us. That God light is already in us. So why would you ask for Jesus and his Father to come into our hearts when it's already there? I kind of think that might be a ploy to fool us into thinking that we are not okay the way we already are. We already have that God spark in us. And that's when I say that the plastic Jesus, I think there was another entity in the Bible trying to confuse or deflect or whatever. Maybe the Constantine Roman folks did that to further confuse folks by asking Jesus and his Father to come into your heart, knowing full well by doing that you're giving your spirit over to these entities. And yes, they grant you will have everlasting life. You have everlasting life. He didn't say eternal life. He says everlasting life. So to me, if they're going to resurrect you or bring you back to life, or when you die, you go to heaven, or he's going to quicken you. When their hearts, when people get into a bad situation and they're dying and their heart stops, how do doctors start their hearts again? They get those two paddles, clear, and they shock them or quicken them back to life. Not that God spark life that's already eternal. Once the meat suit goes away, then your spirit, the true you, is free. That you have eternal life. I think it's a bad deal when folks ask Jesus into their hearts. I think it's a trick. That's my own personal opinion from research that I've done and just how it sits in my gut. It's a trick. So No, I'm not going to be asking to be born again that way, to asking Jesus and his Father to come into my heart, because I fully believe that that God spark is already in us. So why ask for anything extra? Natalie says, yes, Monica, we created it all. It's a hard pill to swallow, but I firmly believe it. With it, I firmly believe it. With distance from some of the most horrific things we've experienced, then we could see it in a different light. Oh boy. It is a hard pill to swallow. It is a hard pill to swallow, Natalie. That if we are God and we have the capacity to do such evil, maybe it's something flawed in the human. I don't know. I don't know, Natalie. What if it's certain? No, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Jasmine says, "Oh, you're from Houston, Cypress Creek. Used to attend Cypress Creek Kingdom Hall. How about that? I was in the Woodlands, and when I was a little girl, I was in the hood in Houston at the Cashmere Gardens, Kingdom Hall, Scenic Woods. Um, yeah, I remember that definitely. Jasmine Jackson. Most of my family lives in Texas City, Lamarck area. Yep. I used to go fishing in Galveston all the time, girl, and crabbing. I miss that. Roz, good points, Monica. Thank you, Roz. Humans are LS. Hi, LS. Humans are responsible for what is going on. We've been defined natural law. God has been used as a scapegoat by many because they do not want to be held accountable. Thinking of oneself is difficult. Okay, that's another way to look at it. Natalie says, well, as a former Christian, I'm well aware of what the term born again means. Christians took it out of context in John 3 1 through 21. When we actually start waking up, we will understand what he meant. I'm sure that's what she meant, what he was saying. Yes, Yeshua specifically told us he is not from this world. I agree. This kingdom is not his own. None of us is from here. We're all source playing a role to include experiencing suffering. Okay. You're making me think, Natalie. And I like that. You're making me think. But then again, we are all source playing a role to include experiencing suffering. So God wanted to feel what it was like to be a child and get raped and murdered. Source wanted to feel this. Wanted to feel this, but for what purpose? What purpose does source? So he just knows, or he or she just knows. Oh, that's what it feels like. Oh, I don't like that. We're not going to do that again. But then the human or the creature that had to experience that actually felt that. 11 11 1 1 1 1 11 in the house, 11 thumbs up. See what I'm talking about? 11 11. Hi, Luana. I've had a near-death experience. They had to bring me back. All I remember during the time of death is total peace during that time. Unexplainable. Well, I'm happy for you, Luana, that was your experience. I hope mine is. I don't want a near-death experience. When I lose the meat suit, I want it gone. I just want it gone, and to get on with this ride. Ross says to Natalie, I get your points, and it makes more sense as you explain it. Yes, it does. Natalie's really good. at that. She's been doing this for a while, and she is, I mean, yeah, she's the scholar. She digs deep, digs deep. Yeah. What time is it? I don't even know. 6:45. So the sun has officially set. Yes, but it's daylight savings time. There's my sissy. Hi, my baby, empath lady, sister. I love you, empath lady Lily. Natalie says to us, we all come to different understandings at different times when we are ready to find it. I wish this comes clear to me, Natalie. And again, if we are doing this ourselves, am I doing this myself? Searching through everything and looking at this and trying to figure that out. 12:12. I'm doing this to myself. Well, I'm just going to start doing things differently because I don't like the way things are going right now. I don't like seeing people suffering. I don't like what I see. Okay, and thinking of that, if half and half the people are like me, we don't like to see all this suffering, and we want equality for everyone and no one to be sick and sad and dying and all of that. But then we have others, facets of source, that are just asses, that like to see suffering, that want to hurt people, that want to take advantage and lie and steal. And so does that mean the ones like me, we just have to push harder to change the tide, so to speak? If that's so, let's get to cracking, y'all. Ella says, watch The Story of God on Netflix with Morgan Freeman. I will do that. Thank you, Ellis. Candace says, hey, my nut Suge Avery. Absolutely. One of my favorite songs. Favorite movie, too. Natalie says to Carol, she says, why don't you post it here in a link on the comments? That would be awesome. Carol says it's on Facebook. Okay. Yeah. Anyone that's in the house, that's in the chat room right now, how have you felt specifically the last 3 days? Have things been okay for you? Has it been kind of off feeling for you? Please share. Ellis is the magic horse lady. Forgot to change YouTube ID. Okay, thank you, darling. Okay. Natalie says to me, heck yeah, some of the answers you were seeking are right in front of you. You're just not ready to get the answers yet. You enjoy the seeking, and it is a part of the thrill. That could be right too, because I am just naturally, since a kid, I have just been nosy as hell, digging in everything, looking at everything. Why is this? Yeah. So I think you're right about that, Natalie. Maybe I am writing this whole thing, but the same way I've been writing it all this time, I can start writing it or manifesting differently now. Natalie says, I know the LL research has a lot of answers in it and can read and get a better understanding. I'm not ready to have a nice bow tie yet. Okay, Natalie. Sick for the first time in years. Are you sick with a cold, empath lady? Carol says, for me, things are being revealed. Awesome. And if you would, Carol, as things are being revealed for you, please share with us. Candace says, I've had the flu, but I'm sensing some thick BS is going on in the media. Yes, I totally agree. And some people are saying that this whole C virus thing, if you do the research, this C virus is only mildly worse than the regular flu. And the regular flu, I understand, we lose 3,500 people a year just from the regular flu. And mainly it is the elderly or folks with compromised immune systems. And I think there was one person fairly young, I want to say in their 20s, that died. But there's some thoughts about that too. So a lot of people are saying that 5G has a lot to do with activating something in our system. Yeah, it's some BS is going on for sure. Candace. Empath lady says, beyond heavy moon energy right now, it's overwhelming. Absolutely, it has been nuts, Lily, and that's one reason. Oh, it's been crazy. Yeah, real crazy. Roadrunner girl, hi darling. I have a neurological condition, and I've noticed the last 7 days or so I've been very anxious, increased pain and depression. Yes, ma'am. I have a couple of relatives who have mental health issues normally, and these last few days has been nuts. And I too, I have suffered with depression most of my life, and this last 3 days have been really, really trying for me. Candace says, I also haven't been sick since 2017, not even a cold. Yeah. Hi, Pharaoh Gal 46. Hadn't seen you a while, darling. Hi, honey. I've been an emotional mess, fighting physical symptoms and emotional. I know we are in Mercury Retrograde, and they say that is why. Yes. And see, I've heard a lot about the Mercury Retrograde too. I don't fully understand it. But yeah, it evidently is not good for us. Impact flu-like symptoms. You take care of yourself, girl. And again, they said that the C virus is it just like a dry cough, tickle in your throat, and then a couple of weeks later, then you get the full-blown chest thing. What I have now in my household has been more like upper respiratory, snotty nose and sneezing and coughing, just bronchial type stuff, and no fever. LS. Natalie, I agree with you. It is staring Monica in the face. Would y'all tell me? Y'all said it's staring me in the face. Would you tell me what it is? Or you keep telling me and I'm just not getting it? Tell me again. Come on. Carol says, basically, I'm getting information that I need, whether I'm searching for the answers or not. And for me, it was like that for a while too, Carol. It was like stuff would just pop, or a video would pop up that I would never in a million years look at. And it just pops up on my feed, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, wow, that another puzzle piece, that I found. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, so others have kind of felt. And like she says, come speak to my horses. They'll carry the answers that you're seeking. And I still haven't gotten to my friend that has the horses. Actually, I tried to go to her house a couple of weeks ago, but it was so wet and mucky. She didn't want me to get out there. And then the last couple of weeks, I've been battling colds in the household and babysitting a 4-year-old and my 8-year-old grandson. And so I haven't had an opportunity to break away, but I'm going to do that soon. I need to go and talk to the horses and get on one for sure. Pharaoh Gal, 46. We have a case here in Vancouver, Washington now. I've seen a lot of information from naturopathic doctors say that there are hidden agenda about the C virus. They want to get mandatory vaccinations passed for one. Do not, I repeat, everything in my fiber is screaming. Do not take this vaccine. I was watching Cosmic Agency, another one of the channels I watch. And she was not channeling, but speaking to a Palladian officer that clearly said they want you to take this vaccine because the vaccine is what's going to, yeah, the vaccine is not going to be a good thing. Not going to be so they're doing all the hype right now. Oh, the coronavirus, I mean the C virus, you got to watch out. People are raiding the stores for toilet paper and sanitizer and bleach and all of that stuff. And once things start shutting down, supplies can't get in, because I was watching something else this morning at the docks in California. No shipments are coming in from China. None. So a lot of our products, where do we get them from? And that's kind of funny. I saw a caption yesterday. Someone finally got their box of a mask, and they put it on their face, and they pulled it out, and it said "Made in China" right as he put it on his nose. Something to think about. Candace says, "Believe that." And Carol, I guess Carol put the link. Hopefully the link works. The fly will kill. LS says the fly will kill you before that C virus. Yeah, I think it's a bunch of hype to get everybody scared and focused their attention. Everybody's talking about the coronavirus while they do other stuff on the side and underneath us. Pharaoh Gell says, if it passes, Monica, you won't be able to get a driver's license without vaccinations. That's okay. I'll just stay in the woods. I really don't care anymore. I'm not taking it. And again, I'm not afraid of death anymore. The worst thing that can happen to me in this realm is die. But in my opinion, the best thing that could happen to me in this realm is ascending to get out of this, whatever this is. But not until I've done what I'm supposed to do. And I'm still trying to figure out, what is it that Monica is supposed to be doing? Yeah. Well, what is my role here? Because I don't want to ascend until I've done what I'm supposed to do here. I want to finish my mission, whatever that mission is. But I know I'm not taking that vaccine, and if it means not getting a license, I'll get me a horse and buggy. I'll just be one of the Amish out here. I'll get me one. I'll get me a black dress and put a black bonnet on and get me a horse and buggy, and they'll say, "Oh, there goes Miss Monica. She's the black Amish now." Horse and buggy, like a lot of them. We have a lot of Amish people in this community, and we see people on the highway, on the freeway, people going 80 miles an hour on the freeway, and there's horse and buggies on the side of the road, a mother and her children on horse and buggy. So yeah, you can keep your license, baby. Natalie says, Monica, you are not ready for it. When you are, you will get it. Nag Hammadi Library, the Gospel of Thomas, is as follows. I'm going to pull it out because I got my Nag Hammadi. Continued. Yeshua said, Yeshua said, know what is in front of your face, and what is hidden from you will be disclosed. There is nothing hidden that will not be revealed. Okay. Is that my clue, Natalie, to go look that up? Because if so, I'll be reading that tonight, darling. So what this means is until you can see what is in front of you, you cannot see the other things. Okay. So what should I be looking for in front of me, Natalie? What should I be looking for? What's in front of me? What I can't see, but I want to see. Luana says, I won't be taking that vaccination either. You better get your horse and buggy, girl. Pharaoh Girl says, I am very high risk, but eat lots of raw garlic. Cooking spices are a powerhouse of protection. Herbal teas, lemon balm, elderberry, ginger, many, many more are great protection of any flu. I totally agree, Pharaoh Girl. Matter of fact, I just pulled out a huge bag of elderberries that I picked this past summer, and I was going to make some jam out of it, but instead of making jam, I've already taken the berries off. I have to clean it once again, and I'm going to make some elderberry extract for us. LS says, I'll teach you to ride. Thank you, LS. And I'm going to take you up on that. Definitely. And I will be taking a trip out there because I want to meet you, and I want you to help me introduce me to your horses. I went too far. Carol says, I'm basically getting information that I need, whether I'm searching for not answers or not. Ella says, come speak to my horses. They'll carry you to the answers you're seeking. Oh, I read that already. Skip. Darren. Hi, Darren Connor. You're so funny. Yeah, I'm funny. Sparkle says, I don't take the flu shot ever, let alone a new one. Shelves were empty of certain cleaning products yesterday at the store. Yes, ma'am. Feral Gales, I think once we awaken, we do start seeing what is hidden. Luna says, I live where there's Amish people too, horse and buggy everywhere. Love their bread and butter. Yeah, girl, good stuff. Yes, Feral Gal says to smudge and sage. I do as well. And I need to get some more sage. I have some friends that live in New Mexico. I'm going to ask them to hook me up again. And this time I'll try and save some seeds and see if I can grow some. Actually, I do have a few seeds. I'll try and get some started. DS Nubian First Lady, oregano oil is also excellent for building the immune system. Correct. Yes. And I'm touching my screen. I'm making this thing big. Abalone shell, yes, kills bacteria. I've never heard of that one, but I'll look into that. And Feral Gal, my son, I'm doing a live video right now, and my son is interrupting me for this video. Go, what did you want to show me?
I wanted to show you this. It's super funny.
Hold on.
Oh, you're doing a live video.
I told you I'm doing a live video, Joe.
I'll just leave you alone.
He says he'll leave me alone. I thought it was an emergency. He wants to show me a joke. Gotta love him. Gotta love him. Let's see. Abalone shell. Natalie says you were 98.7% correct. Oh, you got an A, Farragel. We are not awakened. Correction, to make it a 99.99% correct is that some of us are waking up. When awakened, we won't be on this plane, Earth, anymore. So I'm just waking up. So when I fully awake, all of this is going to be gone. It's going to go poof. Is that what you're saying, Natalie? LS, I'll get you some sage this summer. Hopefully a lava rock from the Valley of Fire. Oh, thank you, LS. Natalie says, Monica, give out a shout out to my mom, Jennifer. We started eating 2 minutes after your show started. My mom has chuckled a couple of times, especially at your horse and buggy comment. Hi, Jennifer. I love your daughter. She is amazing. What you guys eating for dinner? I'm hungry myself. Can you see me, Jennifer, with a horse? I'm going to do it. I'm going to get me, but I don't think the Amish will let me ride on a buggy because we're Englishmen. They call us the English, and they don't fool with us. They'll wave at us, but they don't really talk to us because yeah, that's what I've heard. I don't know if it's the truth or not, but they don't think very highly of the English. They think that we're something wrong with us, and I think something is wrong with us some kind of ways. But I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get me one of those black dresses and that hood thing, and I'm serious. I am going to get me that horse and buggy. But you know those things are expensive. I mean, for just a little small buggy, I think it's like I wanted to say the cheapest I found so far is $2,500 for just a little small buggy, not including the horse. So I got to save for that. Maybe I should do a super chat. Y'all do a super chat so I can get me a horse and buggy. And then I'll take you guys on a trip. We'll do live in through town in the woods. That'll be fun. Darren Connor says, is it a con or yep. Con yes, it's a con. I'm beginning to think that too. It's definitely some type of deflection because so many people, that's all they're talking about, the coronavirus, the virus, the virus, the virus. Yeah. Pharaoh Gill says, could you see a horse and buggies in Vancouver? I don't think they're allowed on the street. No, no. And the last time I was in Vancouver, that was what, last year? Last year, year before last. Man, Vancouver looks totally different from when I left in 2016. And when I came back, like 3 years later, it looked totally different. It looked like Portland. Just homeless people everywhere. And yeah. Carol says, my dream is to have a miniature horse and a buggy and use them to garden the grounds. And you know, I was thinking the same thing, Carol, but instead of a miniature horse, I wanted to get me a goat. Have a little goat in a cart, a little cart, so she can help me in the garden to haul things, and I'll give her carrots and apples. Or am I dreaming? Can you train a goat to do that? Natalie says, my mom said thank you. We had Jamaican rice and peas and snapper fish. Oh, yum. I love that. Girl, I'm going to make a really good Jamaican meat pie. Probably not as good as yours, Jennifer, but pretty good at the little farm store. I keep them in the frozen section. Mama Monica's Jamaican meat pies. And speaking of that, I had the little gumbo thing. I did gumbo dinner we did last month. Sold out. It was so much fun. I'm gearing up for the 28th of this month at the little farm store again. I'm doing sort of like a St. Patrick's Day meal. I don't want to say St. Pat, but an Irish meal. And I'm doing shepherd's pie and a garlicky fried cabbage with bacon, Irish soda bread, Irish coffee, and a Irish lemon tart, along with singing by moi. I'm going to sing Summertime again, and over in Killarney, it's an Irish lullaby that I actually sang to my kids when they were little. Video to be released soon. Duck's working on the second video right now, cooking show video. Ella says there's a lot to learn about those horses before getting a horse and buggy. You're putting the cart before the horse. I know you're right, darling. I have to learn to connect with the horse. With that creature in front of me. We have to be in sync. I understand that. So I won't be getting one relatively. I might get the buggy, but for a while. But I know I have to learn a lot about horses first. Pharaoh Gale says, not my favorite place to live. Yeah. And when I lived there, Pharaoh Gale, it was pretty. It was pretty, but I didn't want to live in the city at all. I kept trying to, I was looking for property in Amboy, way on the other side, Cougar, different places up in up in the hills is where I want it to be. Yeah. So I wound up here and I love it. Let's see. Carol says, I want pygmy goats to clear the garden. Yes. Darian says, they're just trying to get people to take the vaccines. Yeah, so they can, yes, ghosts are real, real intelligent. Farrell says, I have a family in Tennessee and the Carolinas, but would never go outside because of the snakes, and I don't handle humidity. Yeah, I grew up in Texas, Farrell Gal, and then after living in Vancouver, Washington for, what, 10 years, the thought of going back to Texas or any place that had venomous snakes and the humidity and all yeah, I didn't want to do it either. And I was scared, really scared to do it because I got used to going out in the garden in Vancouver and sticking my hand anywhere. You can't do that in Missouri. But I remembered, wait a minute, Monica, you grew up in Texas running barefoot, you know, on your grandparents' farm and stuff, and you never got bit by a snake, and you just paid attention. You just behaved differently. And I'm just in that mindset now. It's beautiful here, and I love it, but I am cautious of where I put my hands and just pay attention to your surroundings. And when it gets too hot, I just go in the house and turn the air conditioner on or go jump in the pond. Okay, Natalie says, Yippers. That is exactly what I'm saying, Monica. When we wake up, we leave, or when we experience what we set out to experience before coming here, we leave. Okay. So I'm kind of getting tired. I'm ready to wake up. Can I expedite things? Because I think I'm ready. I want to figure out what I'm supposed to do. And yes, yeah, just do it. And your message came in at 7:11, Natalie. I'm just noticing numbers. I don't know why. Luna Cinnamons love the little farm store. Yes, I love it. They have my jams and jellies and pickles and chutneys there too. And my Zoom bars. I make these amazing organic, very nutritious energy bars. Farrell says, spent 5 years mostly in the Ariel Cougar. Oh my God, that's the area I loved. I used to just go up there and just sit, Farrell, and just dream. This is mine. This is mine. I loved it up there. With my ex in the woods, miss it. I raised my kids in the country in Battleground. We were looking in Battleground as well, too. Yeah. LS says snakes are just trying to make a living like the rest of us. Yeah. And y'all can make your living. Just can you stay out my garden? Or when you hear me coming, could you just go away? Because I don't want to surprise you and I don't want you to surprise me. I think snakes are beautiful creatures. And I have a healthy respect for them. Yeah. My daughter has one in her house. She has this big yellow, I don't know if it's a boa or python. I don't know. It's a beautiful yellow snake, and she's named it Sunny. And she lets it crawl, lay on her neck and around her arms, and that's just not for me. Beautiful to look at, but I'm not touching it. Ella says, my horses are really fast if you want to expedite. They not that fast. You mean get on their back, or could they just talk to me? Can I just sit on their back, LS, and you hold them real tight? Because I told you about that experience that I had with my brother. I think I did tell you that he was trying to show me how to ride the horse. And I did fine. And, I'm sitting on the horse's back and we're just walking along. And my brother's holding the rein. And he hands me the reins. I'm like, no, I don't want to hold the reins. And he says, you can do it. You can do it. And I'm like, okay. And then my brother was very mischievous. And so he slapped the horse's hind quarters and this horse took off on me. And I'm screaming. And the louder I'd scream, the horse would go faster. And then all of a sudden I started sliding off the side and I saw the gravel. And I said, if I fall on that, I'm going to have a really bad road rash or he's going to step on my head. Anyway, I'd somehow pulled myself off and pretended like I was John Wayne and say, "Whoa, Trigger, whoa." Finally got that horse to stop. And then once I got off the horse, I beat the hell out my brother. So that was my experience. So yeah, you're going to have to help me, Ellis. Roadrunner girl, what if you're already doing what you're supposed to do? Hmm. Wow. Thank you, Roadrunner girl. Maybe I am supposed to do this with this crazy journey and have other people look at me like I'm crazy. I don't know. Darian says, "So you back in Canada now?" No, I'm in the Ozarks. Ding 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 ding. I live in the Ozarks now. I went from Vancouver, Washington, not Vancouver, BC, which is Canada, from Vancouver, Washington to the Ozarks in Missouri is where I am. And Pharaoh Gal says, "I'm ready to go home to Monica. So tired of the BS here. Died 3 times and it broke my ribs to bring me back. So must be here for a reason." Okay. We're gonna figure this out, Pharaoh Gal. And when we ascend, we're gonna high five. Okay? Empath lady says, "Oh my God, Monica, I'm with you. Are we done here on earth?" Yes, I am so done. Let's just rewrite it, everybody. Let's just go ahead and say, okay, let's get this done. Let's get this done. Hi, Jasmine Jackson. Ella says, "Yes, I would never, ever do what your brother did." Thank you. Thank you. Jasmine Jackson, we get rat snakes in our area in Austin, Texas. Now, rat snakes, they're not venomous. I don't think they are. They're good snakes. And we have good snakes here as well. They're called the big black king snake. And I've seen a couple in my garden last year. And it was so funny because I was walking in my garden and I saw this long black garden hose. And I just glanced at it and kept walking and said, "Wait a minute. I don't have a black garden hose." And as soon as I said that, the garden hose started moving. It was a long, big king snake. And normally I would have screamed and bloody murder and ran, but I understand this is a beneficial snake. And I just said, "Okay, mosey on along, baby. I'm in the garden now. Go away until I come back, and you can come back and get the creatures after I leave." Carol says, "Good for you, Monica, for defending yourself." My grandfather had a farm. Loana says, "My grandfather had a farm. I had my own pony as a child. Always loved going to that farm." You actually had a pony, Luana? Do you know how many times I asked for a pony and never got one? But see, I was a Jehovah's Witness. We didn't celebrate birthdays. I would hear other kids, "I'm going to get a pony for my birthday." I didn't even have a damn birthday. Farragel says, "I think you are here to help free ones that are enslaved." You know what I mean, girl. Oh, thank you, Farragel. And Ella says, "All snakes serve a purpose. There are more non-venomous than venomous." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, Darian says, "Oh no, can't do, can't do the snakes." Yeah, but I'm learning, and actually, I'm going to be working with Hang on a second. My grandson has got a little laser light, and he keeps shining the light. He's in the house, and he's trying to tell me to come in. He's ready to eat. So I'm going to cut off in just a minute. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I was going to tell you that the last video I did, I was showing you what's in my bug out bag or my bushcraft bag. And I told you that I'm going to be working with someone that's going to be guiding me of what to do, what not to do, giving me ideas and all that. He's been doing this for like 30 plus years, and you guys may know him. It's a Mike Brooks with Kim and Mikey. He's the mountaineer man. He's been doing the bushcraft thing for many years. He handcrafts his own what do you call it, leather suits that he wears from tanning the skins himself. he goes to these these outings to where you just go with just barely nothing, a small pack, and being able to hike and survive, out in the wilderness. And he is going to be teaching me these things. And as I learn from him, I'm going to be sharing those with you guys, or for anybody who's interested in the bushcraft thing, you know. Yeah. So I will keep you guys posted. I'll put his, and he makes these amazing, he's sending me this, what do you call it? It's a striker. As a matter of fact, I think he said it was shaped like a snake. That's going to be so cool. As soon as I get it, I'll let you guys see. And I want to show you how he's going to, we're going to Skype YouTube or something, not YouTube, but Skype, so he can show me exactly um, how to do things. And I'll share that with you guys as well. Let's see. Jasmine says, Ellis, I don't like snakes. I had a large one get inside my garage. Yeah. It's not, when you happen upon a snake and you're not expecting to see it, it could be unsettling. I remember going to my grandmother's house and she told me to go and get something out of her drawer. And I opened the drawer and there was this huge snake coiled in her underwear, her underwear drawer. And it just kind of freaked me out. So yeah. Natalie says, my mom just asked me if I saw any snakes when I lived in Austin. I didn't. I lived there 6 years. Thankfully, I haven't come across up any close in San Antonio. Over 17 years altogether. Yeah, when I lived in Texas, I did. Snakes somehow got in our house, and we lived in the city. Um, and I remember I was a young, maybe about 16 years old. And I was washing dishes, and my 4-year-old nephew came in, and he was just kept going, sss, sss, sss. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he kept squatting and pointing on the floor in front of me and making sss, sss noises. So I'm like, what is this kid talking about? So what do you want, kid? And I stooped down to see what he was seeing, and there was a snake underneath the counter, where your cabinet is at the bottom. It has like a recessed area. There was a long snake under there. I don't know how that got there. But yeah, I've run into a couple of snakes in Texas for sure. Farrell says, are there any ex-JW couple? Are they the ex-JW couple? Yes, Kim and Mikey, the apostate demons. When I first woke up, or began to wake up, that was one of the first channels that I started watching. I was watching Kim and Mikey because it popped up. And when I first watched Mikey with his hair wild and he was laughing that I said, oh Lord, it's an apostate demon, and I turned him off. But I couldn't stop watching them. And I would go back and I'd listen to them again. And Kimmy was easy to listen to. It was Mikey, the one I was like, something wrong with him. But I kept listening to him. And it was so enlightening. And now I just love these people. They are amazing. Absolutely amazing people, have done so much amazing work. And they continue to do this amazing work for those that are awakening from the sick JW cult. So yeah, you're thinking of the same ones, Kim and Mikey. Check out he has a YouTube channel. Again, when I finish this, I'm going to go ahead and put it on there so you guys can check them out. They have an Etsy store as well. Matter of fact, that pouch, my medicine bag that I have, that was given to me by them. They are such wonderful people. Selena Connor. Hi, Monica. Hi, Selena. Welcome. Natalie says online now, but a lot more of Dr. Ott information has popped up from over a decade ago. Okay. Darian says, I'm with you on that, Elder Monica. Selena says, I watch you grow from Jehovah's Witness to now, and you're more happier now that you're free. I'm so happy for you. Thank you, Selena. And I sometimes I'll periodically go back and look at those earlier videos, and I look pretty sad. I really did look pretty sad. Um, and I've learned so much in these last couple of years, so much, and I've gone through um, paths and rabbit holes that I would never have gone through. But do I regret going through them? No, because I've learned so much, so much. Carol says, I like snakes. It's anything with more than 6 legs or stingers freaks me out. Okay. Ella says, I played with snakes as a child. Nature's toys. Still rescue non-venomous snakes from my fearful neighbors. The Bible demonized snakes. And I'm sure that is, I don't know. I just have an aversion to them. Even as a child, they just weirded me out. Let's see. I watched a couple of their videos years ago. We'll have to go back and subscribe. Please do, Pharaoh Gal, they are amazing. And a lot of people don't realize that, but they are thinking, leaning to the way we're kind of thinking with this whole dimension and the shift, and yeah, the stuff that people laugh at us about, and the Bible thumpers get them big time, big time. But they're continuing to do their work and helping those not only Jehovah's Witnesses awakening from their cult, but Jehovah's Witness type other religions like latter Seventh-day Adventists and the Mormons and different religions that have that whole fear, guilt, and control matrix crap. Farrell, do they live by you? No, they live in New Mexico. Kim and Mikey. Jasmine Jackson, Kim responds to all of my emails, and I'm surprised she has the time. She is very nice. She is. They, again, amazing, amazing people. Amazing people. That's my brother and sister for sure. Natalie Wilson, Monica, go eat dinner. Catch us later. Your other family, physically nephew is ready for Mama Monica. Yeah, my son Joe's in there with him right now, but you're right. I need to go. I've already been on here an hour and 23 minutes, and I just wanted to watch the sunset with you guys. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate that. Monica Beth Israel. Hello, Monica. Hi, Monica. Beautiful name, darling. Let's see. Ella says, do you know what part of New Mexico? Off the top of my head, I don't, but I know that they have an Etsy store. That doesn't mean anything because that could be anywhere. Anyway, I'll find out for you, and I will put the link to their Etsy store and Mikey's YouTube channel where he talks about the frontier thing. I'll put that on there. Anyway, let me get out of here, guys. Thank you. Oh, Ella says that you're from New Mexico. Okay, well, they're there. I'll let you know where they are. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I didn't see anything significant in the sunset I was watching, but again, it was so cloudy. But anyway, again, thank you guys, and stay positive and keep your vibrations high. Till next time, my babies. I'll see you guys later. Did I close this? No, it's still going. It's still going. I done turned this thing off. Hold on. Got to press the button, Monica. Good night, y'all. Are you sure you? Yes, I